Question 13. Tyre pressure for bicycles is measured in pounds per square inch, so PSI, or bars. Here is a conversion graph for PSI and bars. So question 13a says use the graph to convert 40 PSI to bars. So what we need to do here is you need to take your ruler and go from 40 PSI, which is here, and go up until you hit the graph. Be as accurate as you can, and then when you hit the graph you want to go across and see where you end up on the bars scale. Now if I look here, here's 2 and here's 3, you should be able to see that there are 10 squares between 2 and 3, which means each one is worth 0.1. So I need to go 8 squares up from 2, so that's going to get me to 2.8 bars. Part B says the tyre pressure for racing bicycles is 100 psi. Work out this pressure in bars. You must show your working. Well, the problem in this question is that our graph doesn't go up to 100, so we can't use the same method. We need to think about another way of doing it. What we can do is use a smaller amount that goes into 100 and then multiply. Now there are different ways of doing this. The way I'm going to do it is using 20 psi. And I'm going to go up from 20. Remember, be as accurate as possible. And then I'm going to go across when I hit the line, and I should find that 20 psi is 1.4. Now I could actually have worked that out from here because I could have just halved that. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn 20 psi into an amount in bar. Because remember, this line here is a straight line, which means these two quantities are proportional to each other. They're directly proportional. So if I multiply this one by 5, that will give me 100 psi, which is what I'm trying to figure out. That means I need to multiply this by 5 as well. Now there's a nice easy way that you can multiply numbers by 5, and that is I can times it by 10 and then divide it by 2, and that actually makes it easy enough for me to do in my head, because if I multiply this by 10 I get 14, and then if I divide by 2 I get 7. Okay, and then I don't have to bother doing a complicated decimal multiplication. So 1000 psi is 7 bar, and that's what the answer is asking us for.